6 things that guys struggle with when they decide that they want to go and date and form relationships with women from Eastern Europe. We do it with Ukraine because Luba's from Ukraine. We understand Ukraine very, very, very well. What is the number one problem that we see when guys decide to go and do this seriously, not just like writing stupid letters online or, just kind of dabbling around, trying to just do it,
So I guess that this video we will try to do like applicable for everybody who is
Yes.
like thinking to do that. And also we'll cover that a little bit for the guys who are thinking about using our service, right?
Okay.
So number one, we put it like knowing what you really want. Knowing what you want, what you really, really want.
Yes,
It's like in the song, but
like a spy skill. Yeah. So it's like
Spy skill?
knowing what you want and what you need, because we are like, as men, we are very, very visual, right? And we have to be attracted to the woman doing our style of matchmaking, and then you'll decide whether or not she has the characteristics, the green flags that you want in a relationship going forward, right? So, but sometimes what we want and what we need are two different things. And I'm not saying that, like, if you were to draw like a Venn diagram like this, want, need, see this Venn diagram? Want, need, here is your future wife, right? In the middle. This is the thing that's difficult for guys to try to wrap their head around, right? And it takes a lot of strength actually to go, okay, I know that this woman is incredibly beautiful, but she's an absolute arsehole, and she's going to make my life an absolute miserable mess. She's not what I need, but I'm still going to pursue it anyway. And we see this sometimes, right?
Yeah.
In fact, this whole industry is surrounded by stupid shit like this, because this is where the whole scam industry in Ukraine came from, is guys thinking about what they want and not what they need, right? And this is, I would, like, most of our clients are pretty good, right? To come to us, and I think a lot of it comes down to how serious are they about moving forward in the future with this woman, right? Because some guys, for example, like guys that, go to the airport to wait for the scammer to come pick them up from the airport. These guys are just thinking about the next 4 hours or 6 hours or the next day.
Maybe
they're
not thinking about the big picture.
They're not thinking about the big picture. They haven't taken a step back and gone, what do I want? What are my values in life? What are my goals in life? Where do I see myself in 5 years? And this is one of the questions we always ask our clients is, in 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? And they have to picture themselves like, I live in my house, I have a wife, maybe we have a young child, blah, blah, blah. And so it's about like visualizing exactly how you picture your life. Because if you sit back and go, okay, I'm picturing my life with a woman that's 25 years younger than me with big boobs, looks incredibly beautiful. All my friends are so jealous of me, and my life's going to be so happy.
Open your eyes, stop dreaming.
Not going to happen, okay? So what do you want and what do you need? And sometimes, like, what you want is what you need. And so it's this dance of self-awareness and what's going to make you happy and fulfilled in life, right?
And also will fit in the area where you live, because unfortunately we see that sometimes guys, especially this is happening with the letter writers. So I will tell you how we see this problem like with our clients and the guys like in general. Like the guys who are doing the letter writing, they just join the website and they just see enormous amount of ladies, just like huge amount of ladies that like look just like the difference is size of the boobs, like somebody has a bigger Photoshop, somebody has less, this hair extensions, like this eyelashes, this beauty. And the most important is that this beauty is like this absolutely dream of every man, like these Playboy girls, that they they have them in their spank bank, like these girls replying to them. And these girls are saying exactly what these guys want to hear. Age doesn't matter. The way you look, you need to be a little bit beautiful, more beautiful than monkey. Like how much money you make, it doesn't matter. I will live with you in a tent. All this stuff. And so, like, when the guy doesn't have this, like, I remember when we were in Ukraine, like I so much remember this day when we have guys were coming to Odessa first to see like me and Stryker, and then we was going on the tours. And so Stryker like was drawing always like that the guy should be like this, like a palm tree, it should be like, it should have a very strong, how you call it? like this, like a
Roots.
column, like roots, you know, to be, yes, you can maybe be flexible, you can move, but you will never fall and you will never break. And so this is what's happening with our clients. Like guys also, like they join our system and they have a big variety of ladies. There's a lot of, like there are 1,600 girls, and they like looking and they think, oh, but everybody look beautiful. But you need to know exactly what you want. What are your values? What are your goals in your relationship? And that is what we're asking. Somebody want to have children, somebody don't, but you need to sit and think about that for yourself. What you really want, what you really need,
What you really want.
And we will try to help you with that. Number two is coming to you when you...
Well, number two of what guys struggle with when they decide to start dating women from Ukraine.
From Ukraine, yes. So, for example, like you already met a lady, right? You met a lady, you start talking, maybe it's multiple ladies, like in our case with Stryker, we always like recommend guys to meet multiple ladies, but you start talking and then you are lost on cultural difference, mentality different, dating etiquette that is like completely different, and Stryker will give a couple of examples like how it is, and like just different things that you've been...
Well, I wrote here, cultural stuff, dating etiquette, and stupid beliefs.
Stupid beliefs.
That's exactly what I wrote.
It's something like that was before her in your life, like what you believed and like what you were doing and what was your dating etiquette. And now when you start dating a lady from Eastern Europe. So that is a big conflict that the guys like, it's like marathon that you're running and like these bricks in a road that you need to overcome. And it's easy to overcome. It seems like difficult, but it's easy if you know about them.
Well, it's easy to overcome if you have an openness and a willingness to try and understand a different culture, a dating culture. I'm not talking about culture like food or religion or anything like that, but a different dating culture, because in other cultures, they grew up differently, and that becomes their culture. You have your culture, which you understand from, social media, what you were taught at school, what you learned, your experiences through dating and that sort of stuff. Well, that's your culture, that's her culture. So you're going into her culture to try and understand her, right? Because if you go there with your culture, she's going to think it's weird and there's something wrong with you, right? And we see this stuff all the time. So to overcome the cultural and the dating etiquette and the stupid beliefs that you've brought from the West is just to listen. It's so simple, right? It is so simple to listen. Our clients that are successful all listened, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
This is the thing. Like, we talk about this. It's like we know when somebody is going to, like, we can't say 100% be successful, but they're going to have a very good chance. And they're not necessarily the most handsome man. They're not the tallest man. They're not the richest man. But they're listening to everything that we say, and they take it on, and they write notes, and they think about it, and they make mistakes, and they come back and they ask us, what do you think happened? And we tell them, then they go back out there and they do it again.
I can tell that we do have like guys, like our clients are like middle class and upper middle class, right? And so we have a lot of guys who are lawyers, who are doctors,
IT programmers,
like
software.
guys who are really busy at work, and they put a lot of, like, invest a lot of time in their work, in their career, and they don't have time, and like maybe they have bad experience in dating, maybe they just don't have time to find, and they want us to help. But the interesting thing is that like really successful guy, like I didn't notice like our like professions of our clients to just say, hey, we have a cool clients. Yes, we do, but it's like the level of clients, right? Like the guy is like a heart surgeon, right? Or the guy is like high-end like lawyer from California, for example, and you can find him like on Google, like he's top 5, and then like this guy calling us, and he's like, okay, Luba and Stryker, what did you, okay, so dating etiquette, I need to do this. For us, it's like shocking. This guy is like super professional. He's super smart, successful. He makes a lot of money, and he's listening to us. But at the same time, we have guys who are like a little bit like, they just like, I don't know, they just more like they're different, right? And they're just calling us, and they most likely not becoming our clients, but the way we speak with them, they just like, yeah, I know that. I don't need this. I know that kind of information. Yes, like, it's fine. I know how to deal with women. I don't need a lot of work. I already know everything. And we're questioning a little bit, and we say like, okay, if you know everything, like, why do you need a matchmaker? I just like, and then there's like a little bit like silly explanation. So the guy who is like really like a kid is like, oh, like really? Oh, okay. So they asking questions. They in good communication with us. They want to get to know, like, we are here always, I almost like sleep with my phone. Like, we're always there for you to answer your questions, that guy would be successful. The guy
Yeah,
who
well,
thinks that he already knows everything.
I think that, yeah.
Unfortunately not.
I think that certain people are constantly learning. They're always doing courses.
And they're willing to learn.
Yeah, and people that are maybe like, say in IT or software, they have to constantly learn. If they stop learning for 1 year, they would be in old technology,
Absolutely.
right? So they understand the value of education, we'll say that, right? So they're constantly, and they understand that when they learn something, they implement it, there is some result from that, and they benefit from it in some way. And that's a little bit of a difference, because sometimes you'll find that guys, that maybe they have a job which they've done the same job, and it's going to be the same job in 10 years, and 10 years ago it's the same. They don't really see the value in learning something new. And something that, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's just a theory that I have, is that guys that are super busy, that are learning about stuff because they have to constantly learn it for stuff for their own business, they don't have time to watch red pill pickup dating videos, how to pick up women, how to say this to women, how to text women. They don't have time to watch those videos. But guys that are working like more of a 9 to 5 job, they want to meet women, they want to learn how to meet women, so they end up watching some of those videos. Then they take that information and they bring it over to us. And then when we talk about our information, there's quite often there's a bit of a conflict between the information, because some of that information is just absolute just garbage. And maybe it works in the West, some of that I doubt as well. And they try and tell us, no, hang on, I've spent like 50, 60,
Watching
70, 80, 100,000 hours watching this, and I'm going to tell you like how it really is. And we say, no, it's not how it is. So
we don't mind listening to that. But the thing is,
Well,
with
I've
us,
heard it all
Stryker
before.
also been following that, and he also know all of that stuff. But the thing is that we talking from the practical point of view, and we're not even talking like from our own experience. We talk it from experience of our client.
Well, in my experience.
And Stryker experience as well. I mean that the thing is that, like in IT, Stryker is right. You need to learn everything to be pick up with the time, right? Keep up. If you're a lawyer, you need to learn because every day something changes. If you're an accountant, you need to do it. If you're an engineer, there's new technologies. And in dating, the same. Like even I think that our advices that we were giving the guys 3 years ago and the advices that we're giving them now, like it's very different. And
so, yeah, I think to some degree, I think that the foundation is the same. But the thing that I added on number 2 here, which was stupid beliefs, right? How do you know if a belief is stupid or not, right? Because it could be a good belief in some situation, right? Some
I don't really
circumstance.
Get it.
What, stupid beliefs?
Yes, whom? Like
well, it's a stupid belief to us.
Oh, okay.
So for them, it's not, because in their situation, it's good. So
yeah.
Doing XYZ over here is a good idea, doing it over here is not. So it's a stupid belief that you have to drop.
The only thing that we are kind of like cool about and we're confident about is that we know that like our clients have us, like when the guy doing it on his own, he probably like will just drop on the second, like he probably will drop on a stage number 3 that we will talk in a moment. But we know that our clients, we can help to coach them and like take them out of this problem and just move forward. So the problem number 3, like the stone on the brick on a road, it's communication, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of guys start communicate with the ladies, and at the beginning everything seems fine, but then like it's either 2 problems. Either the problem at the very beginning, because you need to find the frequency of communication. First 2 weeks gonna be the most difficult ones, because I mean, from one hand it would be the most difficult because you need to find out, okay, does she like to communicate in the evening or in the morning? You have basically like usually 7 hours time difference. You need to make sure that, does she like text messages, voice messages, video messages, or just like you do like once a week a video call, for example. So like to figure it out, like that frequency is a little bit difficult because everybody has different beliefs, and maybe the guy is working from home and he can basically message her every second. She doesn't. Like we have like one girl, for example, she work as like in some factory, like with some chemicals, and she literally like she can only have her phone before she go to work, and then like she go, why are you laughing?
She works in a factory with chemicals. Sounds like she's making drugs.
So I didn't say that, but like that is what you need to know, and also not get offended, because a lot of guys say, oh, she's not answering to me, and the reason is not because she's bad. It's just you need to know her schedule, you need to understand her, like the way she lives. And the second problem that can happen is that over like 2 weeks you like finally figure it out, you communicate 1 month, and another problem is that you're kind of losing topics of communication. You don't know
Yes.
what to talk about. You haven't met, you don't know, you don't have any like memories together, you don't have any story together, you don't have anything that you can relate to, and you understand that that's it. Like you are absolutely on a zero. That like what else? You know about your color, about your cat, about your mom, about your job, about your sister, about your friend, about your, I don't know, favorite food, about your favorite movie, music, and hobby. That's all. What else can you know? So
Yeah.
that is the problem, and that is the brick that like a lot of guys are just like, okay, it falling apart.
Yeah, this is, you know, I guess I'm going to talk about two parts here, but with communication, like first thing, men, you have to understand is that women are irrational. They are.
You're accusing every video you say that.
But I want the men to understand that there is no sense to some of their emotions. And we as men, we try to understand things and we try to figure things out and we try to fix things, right? But when it comes to women, it's different, right? So when it comes to the communication, a lot of this plays into that. Is that you're thinking something logically about something that she doesn't have a absolute clue why she's thinking that way, texting that way, hasn't texted that way, saying something, thinking something, okay? The moment that you realize that and you accept that, you can then move forward from there. You can go, okay, so I get it that she doesn't know what's happening, right? She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know her emotions, her feelings, okay. Of course, it's not going to be like that all of the time. But if you accept it for that, you're less likely as a man to jump to conclusions and think she's not texting me and I blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that and to hell with her. So understand that first, okay? That's number one. Number two, Luba is 110%, she's correct. This is what happens when you're doing this long distance thing over text, is that it goes downhill really fast. Once you start saying, once your conversations resort to, how was your day? What did you do today? Good morning. How was your day? She says,
I'm
fine.
tired. I wish you would not be tired.
Yeah, and so, you know, we always say that when you first introduce to a woman over Zoom, if you're using our company, for example, or you could meet her on Tinder or whatever, then you have to go and meet her. And once you meet her, you have these emotions, you do these experiences together, you can talk about things, you can plan things, you understand each other a lot more. All right? But if you don't do that in the first, I don't know, month to 2 months, 2 months it's starting to slide downhill in a bad way, then it's not going to work. And the guy quite often will say something like, she's becoming less and less responsive, I don't think she's interested. Well, no, it's not that she's not interested, it's just that she doesn't see any action, right? You know, and it can go either way. You know, the guy may, actually, it's normally the woman that loses interest at this point, right? It's not usually the guy that goes, I can't be bothered.
The guy
because
tried,
he's invested.
But, he invested, but the guy just don't know what to do. The guy don't know. But we always advise to our guy, according to the situation, according to the lady, what to do. We like kind of advise like watching movie together, reading book together, or like arranging a date when you cook together something. It takes time, you know. It's another job for you that you're like you having for yourself. So
it takes work.
Yes.
It takes work?
It takes work, yeah, but like it does work. It does work, and we do help our
clients.
But
that's the thing there. Like I made a video years and years ago, and it was called the 3-month wall. It was after you first meet a woman, and then 3 months later you break up. And I believe that I didn't know it at the time, but now being in this industry, it's all due to the communication and how to keep her on that roller coaster, the highs and the lows of the interaction, right? You can't always be like trying to keep her on a high. You have to have these lows, right?
Yeah.
And it's, you know, we help our guys with this, but it's very important because she'll either get bored of you, she'll just think that this is mundane, you're not interesting, something like that, right?
But something not like, you know, not a roller coaster of like messaging her and then not messaging her, disappear, like don't spare. This is the worst. So the next part, the next brick is baggage. And you will say, what baggage? I'm not traveling yet. But so it's your past experience. And the problem with this past experience is that now you're communicating. And now you kind of discuss all of the topics that are positive, that hobbies, music, interests and stuff. And so now you start to a little bit opening up for each other. And maybe either of you would ask a question, tell me about your past relationship.
It's like a slippery slope.
And I don't even know who's starting that, but we always see that as a problem. Because when, like, Stryker is right, to be honest, about ladies. I don't know if we are irrational. Like, I think I'm pretty rational, but that I'm emotional, and sometimes, like, one information I can get better than another, like, on emotional level. Maybe I'm emotional unstable. No, I think but I'm fine, right? Yes? but the thing is that like the ladies sometimes everything so much depends on the time of the month, on the mood, on the sun, on the food, on the weight, on the hair, everything.
Let me just go back to when I was talking about how women are irrational and they have no idea what's going
But
on.
it's not
Accept
irrational.
it. It's just the fact.
No, but it's like it's different. But I'm talking about emotions, right? And so the lady, like honestly, she has a bad, like she woke up and she has like swallowing face because she was sleeping on her, like I don't know, she was sleeping on one side. She will be upset, and nothing you can do about that. But when you start talking about your past relationship, the reason I start talking about rational is that you don't know who asked this question. So you can't win. From one hand, you want to share, and sometimes guys do the same. So you want to share, and because you feel, you trust this person, right? And you share with this person, like, yeah, you know, I've been married, and like my relationship didn't work out well, and like this, and she was doing this, and this, and this. Somebody talk bad, somebody say that, you know, some good stuff, and oh, like, I don't know, like I was such a good man, and she just left me, I don't know. And the problem, what happened, why I said that you can't win, and the lady also can tell you that, you know, my husband was like the best man, blah, 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 but so the problem that you've got here is either like you put this person, like the person go back in these memories and he starts like, it's like sucking out, like this memory is sucking him out, or for example, you talking about your past relationship, the lady can come to the assumption that you not overcome that relationship, that you still live in that relationship, that you still miss your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife. Like she will become very upset, and it may end up her saying that, you know what, I don't think that you're ready for a new relationship. I think that you still live in that one. And unfortunately, we saw that. Unfortunately, we saw when the person, what, you haven't seen?
No, I'm just...
Right, like we saw that, you know, that the lady, it's usually coming from the ladies, but guys also like, oh, Luba, like I don't think, you know, her husband, like she's talking so much about her husband, I don't think that she like not love him anymore. You need to understand that, and I think that it's for everybody. Like if you've been living with a person for a long time, you can't just forget it like this, no matter how good or bad it was. Like you just like, you still like, some situations will remind you of that. You can like, many things will happen. So we recommend you to not open this can of worms, honestly. If you even like, if somebody asks this question, I know that some guys are very wondering, you know, when did you have this relationship? What happening in this relationship? Just really cut it very short. Just cut it. Just ask, when was your last relationship, what happened, and that's it. Don't take it, because this will not play good for you.
So yeah, like what Luba's saying is correct, but I would say here, so the topic, the point was four was baggage. So, but I think that baggage is, it can be all sorts of baggage, right? It can be from a past relationship. It could also be like maybe like from family, parents. It can be also baggage that comes through with relationships where, you know, she may, on both sides, she may have daddy issues, he may have mama issues. You know, he's looking for a new mother. Like we've seen all this stuff before, right? So, and this is, I'd almost put this as like number 2 instead of number 4. But the past comes with them, comes with the guy. And it shapes what happens in the future. And depending on what happened in the past, usually baggage is bad stuff, right? We never talk about baggage like, you know, I had a great relationship with my parents and my ex-wife was incredible and I'm going to take that forward. That's not baggage. What is that? I don't know what that is. But, so it's usually, so baggage is we usually think it's something that's going to be bad going forward. And it could be anything that is bad going forward. The guys have a really hard time letting go of things. We did a video recently, maybe I've already uploaded it, maybe it'll come after this one, I don't know. But of the past and how it can shape the future with the relationships going forward with women from Eastern Europe and how it can hinder it, right? It can cause problems. And I see this as one of the biggest. I see this as, you know, when you and I, like we consult about what's happening with our clients at the moment, quite often we refer to things, you know, well, maybe there's something in his past, right? Probably
it's always something in the past.
70% of the time we think, well, maybe something happened. We need to find out a little bit more about what happened, like what's happening here. What we need to, we'll look back at our notes and when we're doing the consulting call. What happened with his wife? Oh, that's right. He found out that she cheated or something like that, and we'll find out all of this information at the start, and it'll start to be pieced together as to why he's struggling in the future.
But can I say one thing, that I was focusing only on a past relationship, but you made a right point, because this also happened. It's like the lady, for example, would say that she grew up without father, or her father never wanted to spend time with her, and the guy immediately, oh my God, like she's bad woman, she has like daddy issues. Unfortunately, not all of the parents can stay together, and like maybe it's even wrong, like if the parents staying together, if they hate each other, like just for the kid. So we don't know, it's easy to say for somebody, but like I think that we need to think for ourselves.
And not all women
and not all of the women, like if the father left, yes, she's upset, yes, she may have a little bit of a trust issues with the guys, but it doesn't mean that she's like horrible woman. The same happening most of the time with the guy's mother. We have a lot of guys who are like older gentlemen, they still have mother who is alive, and all their life, mother is controlling that life. And to be honest, that scare lady even worse. Like this scare the woman so much, because she understands that even though you would love her to pieces, like the mother will always be there controlling.
And also, sorry, keep going.
No, like the mother will be controlling and will take part.
Well, I dated a woman from Ukraine, and she was like 30, and she wasn't allowed to come and stay at my place because her father was so controlling. She's 30. She still has a father. Very certain she has a father who was controlling of her, which made things difficult. But then, is that a red flag, or would it be better if she didn't have a father? Yeah. So there's all this like baggage, and people try and interpret like things. I read a book about this. I saw Rollo Tomasi talking about this, or I saw someone on some podcast talking about this. Don't worry about that stuff, because all this little bits of information that have nothing to do with you, or with the woman that you're seeing, or multiple women that you're thinking about seeing, and all you do is you think about it so much that you stop yourself from making any steps at all, and you think, okay, it's too much. I don't want to do it. Right. So that's the baggage problem. Number 4. Number 5.
No, faster a little bit. We need, because the guy's falling asleep. But I think it's very important.
No. It takes as long as it takes for them to be.
But like number 5 is dating multiple women. So maybe you will speak about like other experience, like I don't know, but I will speak about our clients. So this is also a little bit of an issue that is easy to overcome. We always help. But the thing is that like the guys talking to multiple ladies, and then they need to what is this? It's not. So I was just thinking not to overcome the topic number 6, but it's like the guys talking to multiple ladies. It's a little bit difficult to handle, because they need to make sure, like unfortunately this is happening, that the guy was sending the photo, he made a mistake sending photo, he sent the wrong photo, or he sent a screenshot. At this moment, like the message from this like other lady pop up. So it's difficult and it's exhausting. And also like if your work is like taking time, or you're driving all day, and then this messages, like you need to be ready for that. You need to understand that, okay, this is important part, but this is also important part of my life, because we did a call with a guy who is like working, and he was like, the way he was talking, he's working like 12-14 hours a day. And I say, but does it change? Like, and he say, no, my boss, like he's very, very strict. I even work on Saturday and maybe sometimes Sunday. I said, right, but like, are you going to live with your boss, or you want to build your like own family? No, I want to build a family, but it's in any future, like in any close future, like I will not change anything about my work because it pays well. I said, then it's better just to wait, until you're ready, because any woman would sit at home and wait for 14 hours. But anyway, multiple ladies, it's a little bit of a problem, because the guys just like, they're too honest. They want to tell everybody like, yes, I talked to multiple ladies, but you're the best, or something, or like they scared. They say, Luba, I just don't know. Like, I don't want to.
Can I say what the issue is? And you've sort of nailed it there, right? The issue is a moral issue. Right?
Yes.
Because as you grew up in the West, we understand that we shouldn't cheat, and the way that we were brought up is like, be honest and have integrity and all that sort of stuff, right? For most men. And so to talk to multiple women at once, you feel like you're cheating, right? And we have to really, really focus on this with the guys that sign up. And we say, you're not dating any of these women. You're just talking to them. So if you were talking to a woman that you met at the supermarket last week, and then you're at the post office the next week, and you started talking to another woman, and you said, hey, we should go out for a coffee, and you go out for a coffee with her, or you're planning to go out for a coffee with her, you're not cheating on any of these women. You're not having sex with any of these women. It is not a romantic,
There's
intimate...
definition, right? Like what we're
Yes.
saying.
So that's what we say to them. It's that you have to come to terms with the fact that you are just talking to women, right? And you have to be a little bit selfish here. You have to go, maybe it doesn't feel right, because you want to be honest with them all and tell them all that you've met a woman over here. But it's ridiculous, right? If you met a woman at the post office and you said, let's have a coffee, and you met a woman at the supermarket a week later and you said, look, I'd love to go have a coffee with you, but
I did.
I'm planning on going for one that I met with a woman last week at the post office. Like, it's ridiculous. It all becomes absurd and stupid. If you put it into that context, it's not so difficult to go ahead and do that, right? But men do struggle with this. And I know that if I've used some other companies before and they say date one and that's it. Date one and that's it. This is not efficient. In order to have the best choice or to get the best result, have the best result from a bunch of different choices, you need to have a selection, right? And we discussed this in depth on our calls, and it's in order for you to get the best one of many, you must talk to many and let them eliminate themselves, right? And they will. Yep. I won't go too much into detail with this, but guys struggle with this. Like,
but
I almost want to say, like, it's almost like a little bit conceited to think that I'm talking to her and I'm talking to her and I'm talking to her, and they all think that I'm an option for them. But they may not. You know, you may be talking to 3 women, but 2 of them are thinking, no, I don't want to be with this guy.
No,
right?
we don't know. Like, and honestly, like, we always say to the guys, because like some guys say, I just like, she asked me and I want to tell her. Like, we try to teach the ladies not to ask this question, obviously. And the guys have the same problem.
Yeah.
Like, the guys have the same question. Like, oh, she probably has a lot of options. And we on every call, like, we discuss that. And maybe we should do the video about that as well. That, like, to take away this myth that ladies has a lot of options. So basically, we just say that if you want to tell the lady that, yes, I talk to multiple, but I'm very serious and I think it would be you. Like, if you want to lose this lady, just tell her that. If you want to finish the relationship and you don't know how, tell her this. That's it. Ukrainian ladies are extremely jealous, but
irrational. Remember?
But,
where did we say that? It was in here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Irrational, they make no sense, they got no clue, they don't understand anything.
Yeah, but so that's it. So it's a problem, but you can overcome that as well. So we do help you with that.
Okay, we'll finish up quickly. So number 6 was logistics. This is troublesome for the guys, and a lot of guys that we talk to don't end up signing up with us because of this issue, right? They don't have enough time off work. It's too difficult to travel like twice before you decide whether or not you want to.
I think that we're a little bit fixing this problem now, because like we do have a lot of ladies in the United States now, and like we have a guy who already met like two ladies there in UK. We have ladies, and the guy also like just like talked to her, and in a week he went and traveled to see her by train like a couple of hours. But the logistic is like, it's not a problem, but you need to think that you need to have a passport, and some guys they don't have passports, so you need to order it today. Then the logistic would be like if the lady in a different city, like I think it's the least of the problem, to be honest. If you have time.
You're sort of going too deep into it, but what I'm saying here is like time off work.
Yeah, time off work. Yes.
Time off work to plan to do that, because you can't just say, I want to meet a woman, I want to get married, I want to have a family, but I've only got like 10 days left of annual leave this year. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work, right? Or if you've only got like 2, you have to kind of like work it out, like go there for 5 days, come back. Guys struggle with this, and this is something that makes men say it's too difficult. But like Luba said, this is one of the easiest things to overcome. Everything else that we've talked about is far harder. Time off work is the easiest thing to overcome. That's what I'll say there.
Yeah.
So, but it is something that you have to figure out, and it is a challenge if you decide to go and do this, because there are multiple challenges, as we've just discussed in this video.
Yeah, but logistic is possible. Like Stryker say about the time and stuff. There's also like multiple problems, like with different cities, how to get cars or not cars. That's why like not like really push hard.
I wasn't really talking about that. I wrote that down. Like traveling around Europe.
But I do, because I see that like it's more depth, but like people need to think about that. But like I just want to say that when you have a matchmaker, when you have somebody that you can rely on, it's so much easier, because we help you with, like we will help your lady, for example, with a ticket if she's still in Ukraine. We will tell you like in this country it's okay to get a car, in this country please don't take, because we have a guy who didn't listen to us, took a car in a super crowded city, and it was just like struggle for him to park, and it was just like he was always like angry.
He ended up abandoning the car, didn't he?
So like different things, but in this case, like it's good to have somebody who is, you can just call anytime and will assist you. And on this note, we just hope that we cover all of that. If you think that you had, like if you already done it, or you're thinking and you have some concerns and worries, and you think that there's another brick on the road, please put them down in a comment, and don't forget to put your likes.
See you later.
Bye.